There's this thing called melancholy. Well, not by the definition itself, but what I have been experienced with it as something that, maybe you don't exist somewhere that you want to, and that place is, well, there is a place full of emotional upbringing. Sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's happy. That's why it's called melancholy. It's a bittersweet thing that just happened on a certain part of the world, or certain part of place in general. And by place, I don't mean like physical places. It can be anywhere, like on the internet, on the in a book, in a video game, movies, all that. It's such a weird thing to think about, isn't it? To have this weird feeling, emotions that are attached to this melancholy. Some even make a song about it. The reminiscing of the past, or something that is not tangible enough for you to hold on to. A reality that is not real. It's almost like you urge for the feeling of sadness to be continuous, to keep on, pedaling like a bicycle, or maybe, well, feel as like a car. It's a fascinating subject, and I'm not the first one to ask this question and try to explain, or maybe discuss about it. No, I'm not the first, but I'm not the last either. People will always find melancholy, or the sad feeling, the happy feeling, all kind of feeling that brings everyone to an agreement that this feeling is valid, is part of who you are as a person. Sometimes it's part of the reason why other people exist, for that reason alone, or maybe part of their reason to exist, not just only to that. We have explored, trade, and consume ever since, well, forever. As a human, we are curious to find all kind of way to look about life. Most people would, stay with the happy little story they have, maybe something that is, grounded, not too fantastical or fantasy. But some people like me, I fantasize about melancholic stuff, about sad stuff, things that never happened, things that won't happen in my life. Why? I don't have the definitive answer to that, but I do have my opinion on that. And it's about how human are curious, as I said, and their ability to willing to go as far as to create and consume those type of stuff. Imagine like an empty mall. That's like a liminal space, a space in between you transporting from one place to another. But an empty mall is quite nostalgic, right? Quite nostalgic. Nowadays, the strip mall, they don't really see the light there much unless it's really fantastical and a place to hang out. There's like a lot of shop for people to hang out. The traditional mall where you can just go in and buy stuff, it slowly has been declining in the 10 years ago, and now it's in full effect because people can just stay at home, at their home, and buy stuff online, delivery online, across the country. I know that because in my country they have an app called Shopee that let you do that. It's Lazada, but I don't use the latter. The latter kind of bad. But anyway, that's beside the point. Empty mall, place of maybe place that bring you sadness out of your body, out of your emotion. You feel sadness, you feel empty, you feel a bit sad, and but it's sweet at the same time. It's bitter and sweet at the same time. Like maybe a picture of a radio tower in the middle of nowhere. Some, well, best example would be a Soviet wave feel to it. A Soviet, bygone era, the era that has been over, probably wouldn't exist again. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe in the near future we have another planet to house people on that planet, and they start building more communist communist block, in like apartment complex. But yeah, the feeling of melancholy, feeling of bittersweet, we yearn for it. We yearn for it to come and go because it's a balance between good and evil. It's a balance between happiness and sadness. We want something in between where it's valid to feel sad and happy at the same time. Maybe you, maybe it's a, I believe that it may be due to the factor of a person transitioning into a new world, or maybe a new area, a new place, finding a new hobby, talking about a new friend, new game that you enjoy, new movie that you watch, anything really, anything new that just make this transitioning even more powerful. You go from sadness to happiness, and sometimes we caught in between them. That's the middle point. And sometimes the middle point is like a comfort zone. You don't have to be too sad. You don't have to be too happy. You can be both on moderation. I probably talk about this other thing like emo, like culture and god culture in another video. But that's the reason why there's emo movement back in early 2000s and 2010s. I was like a I was like a child back then. I was like a teenager back then. So I can't really say much about being an emo. And in this country, in Thailand, there's not many movement of emo. But it also like you when you think of an emo, you think of a person that is like all black and all sad. Emotional is in their name, emo. But in the modern day, everyone is I believe everyone is an emo now. We find things that we find to be happy or sad. We find it to be a bit a both, especially with like a medium for those sadness and happiness, which bridge those feeling to us to the fantastical and the fantasy, whether it be in books or TV or video games. It can become like a bridge for us. And maybe I'm just stressing out the basic detail, or just maybe I over analyze this. I'll give you an example. There's this artist called Astrophysics, and they got popular by making various Miku cover for song. There's like two albums that they made with Miku in mind. But there's also this one visual album that linked to the visual novel that they work on. And one of the songs is called Lobotomy. And I think that's like the peak melancholy feeling to ever exist by date. And that's just that may be just my personal bias, but it is truly fantastical, and it made me fantasize myself in like a snowy area in an apartment block that people rarely use, or maybe people do use them, but the neighbors are not so talkative. People are just going through their routine. It brings that imagery of a Soviet era, bygone era that I mentioned before, a place that still exists, but it lost like the original, maybe not lost the original purpose, but it's a testament of time. It become like a domain kind of thing. Anyway, this is like the third video I made today, so I need to slow it down. So I'm gonna end with this. Melancholy is a feeling that is valid for a lot of people, because nowadays we are living on the internet, and if for some people the internet is their comfort, for some people real life is their comfort. People are strong in their environment, or they can assert their dominance over others without the fear of getting looked down and getting compared to. And some people just stay online to stay safe in the comfort zone. But what I'm trying to say is that it's a valid feeling, and it's okay if you are online, maybe chronically online like me, but try not to consume all the bad stuff. If you become too sad, then you are not productive at all. You need to balance the happiness and the sadness. It is something that a lot of people have overlooked. They either become too happy, ignorant of bliss, and too sad, too attached to certain things on the internet. I know that because I never used Twitter until recently. I use it for, just for communication and searching for artists, something like that. I really like artists, but that's the topic for another day. Anyway, deep down, melancholy has always exists with humankind for so long that we sometimes forgot that it's a thing inside us. We always look back at the past and wish that we could be there, we could experience it. But the same thing would happen to the next generation in the, maybe in 2 generations from now. They would look back at early 2000s and they would be like, oh, I wish I can experience the upbringing of technology, the 2020s, which are the rise of an AI and a lot of freedom to do whatever you want. That kind of thing may be a luxury for people in the future. So melancholy is a feeling, yes. I repeat it so many times now, and it's I don't think it's gonna go away. I think it's gonna stick to us for a long, long time, and I'm fine with that because it's a basic human feeling. It's kind of a need for someone who need to express themselves, who need to experience it and become one with it. And to be honest, melancholic theme in other games or movies, shows, it kind of open a way for you to think of curiosity. Like, oh, if this show didn't end or end on a poor note, you are left to imagine what would happen next. The example would be the Utopia series or on TV in Great Britain. And then the ownership has been moved to Amazon. But the Amazon tried to recreate it in the American setting, but it doesn't work. And people really want Utopia 3. Maybe it's a project that, I think I should stop talking. This has been too long. Anyway, you are valid. If you enjoy melancholy stuff, you don't have to worry about it too much. It's okay to feel like that. It's okay to be in that mood. It doesn't mean you are broken or anything. You're just human. You're conflicted with feeling. Emotions, they're part of you. So embrace it. Be the human that you want to be. Not by what the society wants to shape you to be. Not by the expectation. Not by standard. No, whatever you want to be. Just be you. I know it's easier to say that than do, but trust me, just spend some time with yourself. Maybe 30 minutes if you're busy with school, with work. Just spend 30 minutes on you. Find hobby, find something to do, something to clear your mind, and you will realize there's so much potential in you. Some may not be able to crack that open, but it's okay. It takes time. It takes time for me too. I'm not there yet. I'm not where I want to be yet. But I am who I am. And you should be who you are. Thanks for watching. This is a bit scuff, so yeah. You can like and subscribe. I don't mind if you don't. But it'll be really nice if you do. You can support you can support me on Ko-fi. The link is in the description. And I'll be seeing you again tomorrow. Ciao.